What's up, marvelous people? I'm George, and this is the Collecting News, the show where we talk about the latest and greatest collectibles, from art prints and figures to the big hulking statues you see behind me. Now, as you can see, we're one Medina short. We've had a little bit of conflict issues this week due to my wife being sick, my kids being sick, so it's been a shitty week to say the least. Been having to step it up and make sure everybody's taken care of, and because of that, I'm not bringing my brother over here to make sure that he doesn't get sick, so we can do the show next week the way we normally do. So because of that, we're going to be doing a Throwback Thursday version of this show. And if you guys don't know what that means, you know, if you guys have been watching me for the past year, you know that this show used to be a very fast and condensed show. And that's what we're going to do today. I'm going to bring it to you no muss, no fuss, show you everything that's come out this past week and get you all caught up and ready. So here we go.
Okay, here we go. The short version.
Okay, so first up, for those of you guys with low space, you just started out collecting, maybe you're collecting on a budget, or maybe you just like to play with your figures.
Lord help me, what? You need it on the bridge, sir. Knock on my door! Knock next time! Yes, sir. Did you see anything? No, sir. I didn't see you playing with your dolls again. Good!
Here's some stuff for you. So if you're like us and you're going to be heading to San Diego Comic-Con this year, that's July 18th through the 22nd, we found a couple pieces that are going to be at the event. Now, Gentle Giant has been putting out a series of collectibles that are going to be exclusive to San Diego Comic-Con. This is their next one. This is the Luke Skywalker 1/6 scale mini bust. This is based on the Return of the Jedi films. This is Jedi Knight tunic. So I think they did a nice job with the texture work on the tunic. His hair looks really good. And I like that it has a light up feature for the lightsaber. So I think that's an added plus. I do think, though, that the portrait is lacking similarity to Mark Hamill. I don't think it looks a lot like him. And I also feel like it's lacking expression. But otherwise, it's a pretty decent piece for the price. So if you're a collector of these mini busts, then this one may be for you. Continuing with San Diego Comic-Con exclusives, Hot Toys released a Anakin Skywalker Revenge of the Sith version. This is the Dark Lord version where he's already become evil. So now you can have a figure of Hayden Christensen, and it looks a lot like Hayden Christensen, of Anakin Skywalker. Yeah, I said it. Anakin Skywalker. Seriously, Hayden Christensen's got to be happy now about The Last Jedi, because finally people stopped talking about him, right?
Doesn't understand. It's not fair.
So anyway, the figure looks really cool. It comes with a light up lightsaber. You have a version where it looks like he's actually swinging it, so it's got kind of like a wand effect to it, and then a regular version of that. It has a couple of switch out hands. You have a version where you could see him with the robotic arm. He's got those evil red eyes going on like he had in the movie. And then it even comes with that droid that everybody felt sorry for when he jumped on top of and it got a little bit dunked into the Mustafar lava. So that's going to be available at the convention. It's already actually sold out on the website. You could have pre-ordered it and then picked it up at the convention. But I'm sure that, you know, they're probably going to have a couple more left at the convention for us to get. So looking forward to seeing that. So this last one is not a San Diego Comic-Con exclusive, but Weighted Collectibles will be at SDCC. I'm looking forward to seeing that booth. Last year it was pretty cool. They had a really awesome looking Gollum statue there that looked amazing. So definitely looking forward to see what they have there this year. This past week they came out with a Samwise statue that looked pretty cool. It looks a lot like the actor from the movie. I think they did a good job with that. It shows him there cooking food like he often was doing on his way to Mount Doom. And he's there holding a pipe with some of Middle-earth's finest herb.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe not that herb, but from what they saw in the movie, they had to be smoking something serious. Anyway, like I said, this one's not going to be at San Diego Comic-Con, but you can pick this one up right now at Weighted Collectibles website or at Big Bad Toy Store. Alright, so next up, if you prefer art on your walls to action figures, this stuff's for you. First up, Sideshow is about to drop another Alex Ross masterpiece with this Doctor Strange art print. I really love the choice in color in this piece. The light emitting from the eye of Agamotto looks fantastic and so realistic. Color is just vibrant, and I really like the way that his body looks like it's releasing the spirit. You know, so it has that ethereal appearance to it. It looks very beautiful. So most of Alex Ross's work is highly sought after. So if you're intending to get this piece, make sure you're paying attention to Sideshow's site because they usually sell out very fast. Alright, so next up, my boy Charles Carosa hit me up and put me on to this artist named Christopher Clark. And you got to check this guy's work out. First up, I'm digging the name Christopher Clark. It sounds like a superhero's name, and his art is no less fantastic. So Christopher combines 1800s impressionist style oil painting with this comic genre to bring our favorite characters into a more sophisticated realm of fine art. Now, he stated that his favorite subject to paint is light itself, as he believes anything becomes more beautiful if the light hits it just right. And when you look at this art, you gotta admit, it's just amazing. The brush strokes create movement and it adds like a grit to the scene, so it looks like it's full of intensity. and I really, really dig this. So if you're interested in Christopher Clark's work, hit up Charles Corosa of Choice Art Group. All right, so lastly, let's get into my realm, the Marvelous Statues. And here are my 3 favorite pieces. So first up, Pop Culture Shock came out with their Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Raphael. Now tell me when you see this, you don't hear the original theme music. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. When I saw this piece, I said I had to get a piece of that. Yeah, it was a little bit bad. Seriously though, I think it looks pretty cool. I like that it comes with 2 portraits, although I feel that the portraits look kind of similar to each other. One is him looking kind of angry, and the other one is him looking angrier with, you know, his teeth showing. This is probably because Raphael, you know, is the cruel the crude and rude one. So I think that's why you would see a more angry version of him. I like that he's in the midst of combat. It's got his size out, you know, the signature weapon. He's coming out of a shell. You know, it looks pretty cool. I like that he's standing on top of that robotic base, which looks something like a Technodrome type of base. And I like that it looks like the cartoon version, the 80s version. You know, and we haven't seen that yet, which I think that's a plus. It's also the first time that they're doing a quarter scale version of the Turtles from that era. You know, so far we've only seen like the new movie versions, we've seen the original movie versions, we've seen a couple of comic versions. So you know, this is actually the first time that we're going to see a more cartoon version of it. So if you're interested in getting it, it's at Pop Culture Shock now. So then Sideshow dropped the new Hulk statue. So this is the gray Incredible Hulk. It's a variant of the Hulk from the Avengers Assemble line that they came out with. If you saw our review on it, it's a huge statue. This thing was like 20-something inches tall. It's a very big 1/5 scale statue. Looked pretty badass in my opinion. I think they did a good job on the green one that I saw. I'm not a huge fan of variants. I never have been. I really feel like it's mostly just a money grab when they take and do that. But in this case, this is Marvel's fault. Marvel came out with a green, a gray, and a red version. So, you know, for people who really like the Hulk, this gives you the option to have all 3 versions, as they are going to be coming out with the red version as well. The gray version, I think, is limited to only 500 pieces, so it's very limited. But it did, you know, it looks nice. They didn't do anything really different with it. They didn't give it an extra different head or anything like that. So I feel like that's kind of a downer. I wish they would have had a different exclusive head for that. But either way, it's a nice piece to pick up if you're into the Hulk. All right, and then lastly, Oniri Creations came out with an Edward Elric statue from Full Metal Alchemist. Now, this is an anime. I'm sure most of you guys are into it. It's a very popular anime. I do like the statue. I think it looks awesome. You know, when I first saw it, I was very impressed with the way the base looks, with all those metal fists coming around the way they do. And, you know, it really shows off his abilities from the cartoon. So, you know, a lot of anime statues do this. They have very impressive looking bases. Although I do feel like there's way too much base with this statue. Now, normally I like a lot of base. But this, I think, is maybe a little too much base. When I first saw the statue, I didn't even know really what I was looking at. You know, I kind of just saw these metal fists and everything, and it took me a few seconds to realize there was actually a figure in the center of it. So I think that maybe, you know, minimizing the base a little bit would help with some of these anime statues, you know, for those of us who are collecting it, at least in my opinion anyway. I like that it has a light up feature for the base, which I think is kind of cool. I like his pose. He has a lot of energy and a lot of action in the statue. So I think overall it's a really cool looking piece. And if you're a fan of Full Metal Alchemist, you know, here's your opportunity to get something that, you know, speaks to you for that cartoon. So I think they did a great job there. It's pretty limited to an edition size of only 800. So, you know, the fact that it's under 1,000, I think that's an added plus. So if you're a big fan of Full Metal Alchemist, this piece may be for you. Now you can catch more news about the collecting hobby at mcecentral.com. That's mcecentral.com to see what's new and hot in the industry. You can find us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and Gemmer. Please hit that like button, ding that bell to get notified when another episode releases. Thanks for watching. Until next time, keep it marvelous.